Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy. Just wanted to show you a couple of things about the 2019 BMW 3 Series. First, you'll see the nomenclature 330i. However, it's a little bit confusing because the current 3 Series is only available with the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine. The inline 6 is on temporary hiatus. The good news is that for 2020, it's going to come back in the M340i. And the performance from that car is going to be pretty formidable. From what I gather, it's going to do 0 to 60 in about 4.1 seconds. So the 6 isn't available right yet, but it's coming. So if you want more power, hold on to your helmet because it is coming. Some other things about this car that I wanted to talk about because they're significant and important. It might be hard to gain a sense of this from a video, but the BMW's door glass is both larger and lower than is typical in cars today, such that you can actually sit in this thing and lean your elbow on the door sill, and that is indeed a rare thing in new cars. I test drive new cars every week, and I find that probably 9 out of 10 of them, there's no way you can do that without jacking your arm up and risking a rotator cuff injury. So that's a really nice thing. It's both an ergonomic thing, and frankly, it's a safety thing. And you notice that for once I didn't say safety, because it actually is safe to be able to see where you're going. That to me is a far more important safety feature than all of the techno garbanzo that they keep festooning cars with. Let me show you something else too. And again, this camera of mine is not the highest performance, unfortunately, so I can't show you probably the depth of the paint on this car, but it's really a beautiful finish. But the thing that's striking most of all to me isn't really how the car looks on the outside. It's how it looks in places that you wouldn't normally look. Have a look at the paint quality underneath the hood. Now, this is what you're paying the extra coin for, just things like this. The paint quality under the hood of this car, look at the strut towers and look at the frame rails, is better than you'll find on the outside of a lot of other cars. Probably 8 out of 10 cars, maybe 9 out of 10 new cars, the manufacturers are too cheap to spend the extra couple of bucks per car to clear coat areas like the undersides of the hood, strut towers, insides of the door, trunk, and so on. And so what you end up with is a really chalky looking finish on a brand new car. This looks right, looks really pretty. Now, the final thing is that while you can't get a 6 just yet, you can get a Wagon. The 3 Series is available both in the sedan that you're looking at right here as well as a Wagon variant. And I'm a big fan of both of them. I think these are really nice looking cars. The Wagon has the additional virtue of being able to carry about 50 cubic feet worth of your stuff. It makes it a very practical car with all of the great driving attributes that you'll still find in these BMWs. It's not so much power. The 2.0 liter 4 in this car makes 248 horsepower, and that's not that big a deal anymore. It's the handling, the rear-wheel drive layout, and the way BMW puts together their suspension systems. You won't find many cars that are as enjoyable to drive laterally in a curve as a BMW. So if you're in the market for a mid-sized car with a bit more than the ordinary front-wheel drive car has to offer, you ought to take a look at this thing. Or maybe just wait a couple of months until the 2020 340i comes out if you want that wonderful 6. So I'll have more up at epautos.com shortly. Also, there will be an article about the cost of saving the planet. I got a news release this morning from FCA, Fiat Chrysler, about the $2 billion that they're going to have to waste to comply with all of the CO2 fatwas that have been ladled upon their shoulders, which of course is $2 billion more that you and I and everybody else who is buying a car or having anything to do with the car industry will end up having to pay, because those costs just get transferred onto the backs of everyone else. So anyway, thanks for viewing. We'll catch up with you again soon.